So hello there and welcome back to the channel. This is Mel's Gaming here with another Way of the Hunter video. Now this video is going to be all about the update that happened yesterday on the beta branch on Steam for Way of the Hunter, update 1.20. Now at the moment this update is only available on the beta branch, but of course once it has been thoroughly tested it will be available on the live game for all platforms. Now the first thing I noticed was that the mule deer in the loading screen there has some new textures and it actually looks really realistic now. I think that is absolutely fantastic. But here are all the patch notes for the version 1.20. Now, as I said, this is only available on the development branch at the moment, but it will be a part of the live game once it's been tested. And you can see there's a whole lot of patch notes, but the ones that stand out for me are the colorblind options being added. That is fantastic. And of course, the addition of two new species, the golden jackal on Transylvania and the snowshoe hare on Nez Perce Valley. Now, there is a lot of other fixes and tweaks and added stuff there, so I'm not going to read through it all, but you can obviously pause the video and take a look at them. Now we're going to start off by taking a look at the new mounts for the snowshoe hare in the trophy lodge. So you will have seen there was a fox holding down a dead one, couldn't really see that one, so we'll move through that quite quickly. Then you have the two hares boxing, very similar to the European hare mount on Transylvania, and then you have just a pair of the hares here sort of just walking through the environment. Look really nice, these new mounts. I was actually super impressed. Then you have a grey wolf holding a dead snowshoe hare. Again, unfortunately, we can't really see the hare very much in that particular pose. And then three red foxes sort of fighting over a dead snowshoe hare. Again, can't really see it from this angle, the snowshoe hare, so that's a little bit unfortunate. I do wish you could sort of move the camera around when you're looking at the previews for the mounts. I think that would be a really nice feature. But obviously, now let's go and take a look at an actual snowshoe hare out in the environment. Now, I do have to say it took me quite a while to actually find a snowshoe hare for this video, and I do just want to say a huge thank you to the people in the Way of the Hunter official Discord who let me know where they had found some of these hares, and that did actually help, but it still took me quite a while to actually find a zone and then actually find some of the hares to get this footage. But I will link the Way of the Hunter Discord in the description for this video. Great place for helps, tips, all that kind of stuff, and to share your trophies as well, of course. And yeah, it's a really fantastic Discord, so hugely recommend joining if you can. But the hares look pretty good. I think they're quite a nice addition to the map. I think their models could be a little bit better. I've thought that about a lot of the small game in Way of the Hunter, that maybe their models could be better. But it's a nice filler. It adds something extra for you to actually be able to find out on the map. Now, please do forgive me, as this is on the beta branch, I am going to shoot this with the 243. I actually don't have a shotgun or the 22 on the beta branch. I just have the 243. So yeah, that hare got a little bit destroyed, but at least it is down and we can take a look at it in the harvest screen. Like I said, I think they look pretty good. Maybe they could be better. They're not maybe the most realistic looking model out of all of the ones in Way of the Hunter, and maybe we'll see some improvements to the small game models eventually, but it is nice, like I said, to just have something else that you can come across whilst you're out on a hunt. And I think a lot of people focus more on the bigger game in Way of the Hunter, and in fact in a lot of hunting games. I think it's more about like the elk and stuff for a lot of people. So this is more of a you see one and you shoot one kind of thing, rather than you go out and hunt them for a lot of people. I actually really enjoy small game hunting, and that's why I'd like to see some improvements to some of the small game models, like we've seen for the mallards. They've had a huge improvement. They've actually been tweaked again in this update. They haven't had a massive change, just a few little tweaks. But overall, the model isn't really bad, and I love the twitching effect on the nose. I think they've done that really well. There's a little bit of an odd texture that's a bit sharp looking on the ear. It's a bit angular, and something about the head, I don't know, just doesn't look quite right to me. But overall, it's really not a bad model. I think it looks quite good, but like I said, maybe not the most realistic looking snowshoe hare model I've ever seen. And yeah, I really love this inspect feature that they have now for the harvest screen. It is really nice to be able to take a look at the animal in such detail, and it's really helpful, especially for new species, when trying to talk about them and showcase them. It's a very nice feature. And yeah, like I said, I just would love to see some more detail and some more love go into some of the small game models. Hopefully that'll be something that happens in a future update. We'll see some more of that. But that was it for the Snowshoe Hare, so now let's move on to the Golden Jackal. Now, doing the same thing we did with the Snowshoe Hare and just showing off the new mounts in the Trophy Lodge for the Golden Jackal, there's some really nice ones. They're kind of between a grey wolf and a fox in size, and also with their mounts. You can see they're kind of, some of them are more like the fox mounts, some of them are kind of more like the wolf mounts, and honestly I really like this particular one up on the rock. I think it looks really nice. There's quite a cool one here of the brown bear attacking a fleeing jackal. Again, unfortunately, because we can't move the camera, you can't see a whole lot of it. And then you have the mount up here on the wall with 4 of them, which looks quite cool. Again, it's kind of like between a fox and a wolf. They're not as small as the fox, they're a bit bigger, they're not as big as a wolf, so they kind of fit in there nicely. And yeah, it took me, again, a little while to find these. Obviously, I had to go and find a zone and then work out their times, and then eventually I got a drink zone and I made it their drink time and found this little group of, I think it was actually 5 golden jackals. So they will be in groups, very similar to the red fox in game and of course the grey wolf. Like I said, they're kind of like a species in the middle, quite similar to sort of coyotes basically, and really beautiful looking animals. But for these next couple of clips, I just want you to hear the audio that I managed to capture from these guys. So I was actually super happy that I managed to capture those couple of audio clips to include in this video, because I think the vocalizations from these guys are pretty awesome and very well done. Now overall, I think the Golden Jackal was a very interesting choice to add to Transylvania. Not necessarily a species I would have expected to be added, but they do fit in really well, and like I said, it just gives a little bit more variety in terms of the predator hunting. Again, being a little bit bigger than the red fox but smaller than the grey wolf, it just adds a bit more size variety with the predators and of course species variety. And I just think that getting an update where we get 2 brand new species completely free, I think that's really fantastic. And not only the 2 new free species, of course, but a lot of other fixes and tweaks and all of that good stuff. I'm just super impressed with what the team are doing with this game. Seeing these updates happening really regularly again, this game hasn't been out for very long. It's only been out for a few months, and we're already seeing free content updates coming very regularly. It's really fantastic, and it just gives me so much hope for the future of this game and basically just what we'll see in the future. I'm very, very excited for all of the possibilities that they're already opening up by doing updates like this. And honestly, I think they've done a fantastic job with these 2 new species. Like I said, maybe the hare could have had a little bit better models, but the golden jackal I think look really quite good. Now there is a little bit of a weird thing happening in the harvest screen for the golden jackal, and it's basically that at certain angles the teeth for the golden jackal actually disappear. You might not be able to see it here, but they're actually not visible, and it was very strange because at certain angles you could see the teeth, and then at other angles they would just disappear and you'd be left with sort of just the empty mouth model, which looked a bit strange. But the model itself actually looks really nice with all the fur detail, and I would love to see things like the foxes maybe get a little bit of a texture rework and just make them look a bit smoother and a little bit more realistic. Again, same with the hares that we were talking about earlier, the snowshoe hares. All of the very small game I think could do with some improvements, but sort of your medium to big game I think they've done a really, really good job of. And yeah, the golden jackal, I'm so surprised to see golden jackal. Snowshoe hare, I could kind of expect. I was maybe thinking that we might see that on a new map, somewhere maybe in a different region, but I'm super happy that we've got them already in the game. And yeah, golden jackal was just a complete surprise to me, and I think it will be a big surprise to a lot of people. But they fit in really well on the map in my opinion, and obviously they add some more diversity to the species that you can actually hunt, so I think that's fantastic. Same with the snowshoe hare, I think seeing some more diversity on the maps is really, really cool. And of course this will be a completely free update bringing this brand new content in the form of new species, as well as a ton of fixes, tweaks and improvements, as you will have seen in the patch notes. And I think that's fantastic that we are regularly seeing these free content updates that bring with them a ton of fixes and improvements. I think it's absolutely fantastic, and just hats off once again to the Nine Rocks Games team. They are doing just such a fantastic job. But that is going to be it for this video, so thank you so much for watching and for all your support as always, and I will see you